Hey, welcome to my non-objective opinion. I'm Tim Best Buds. Today we have another sad show with a victim, and we have his wife. Well, a victim who was allowed to die at the hands of the police, and we have his wife here, Angelique Negroni-Kearse. Am I saying it correct?
Angelique Negroni-Kearse. Yeah.
Okay, I'm bad with names. So, how are you
It's
today?
okay. I'm fine. I'm a little sad today. Today is not such a good day, but
Yeah,
I'm living, I guess. That's all I could say.
yeah. It's hard to talk about things sometimes and to think about them before the shows. So yeah, let's get started. Can you tell us about Andrew and what kind of person he was? I know you guys have kids and a family, and can you just
Yeah.
tell us about the Andrew you know?
Okay. Everybody, I want you, when I do talk about Andrew, I want everybody to see Andrew as a person and not as a criminal or how can I say, someone bad or something. The Andrew I knew was, a loving and caring and funny individual that loved music. He was my Chris Brown. He looked like Chris Brown. He was 36 years old um when he died. He had 9 children, 3 stepchildren, and 5 grandbabies. And we have 4 children together, which is twin boys that are 7. Um, since year is 5, and our baby girl is 2.5. And he was my soulmate. Excuse me. and
It's okay. Take your time and
yeah, sorry. um, he he taught me one thing I could say that he taught me was that when you see, like, let's say you see a bum in the street and stuff, right? I used to be like, oh, screw them. They could get money, or probably they get SSI and stuff like that. And he taught me that no, you don't do that. You could, you give what you can, because you might save that person from doing something, harmful to another person, or just, saying, or just give it. Because it doesn't matter whether they're taking drugs, or maybe if they need food, you might stop them from doing something cruel to another person, or probably they really need it, and they're out there for hours asking and pleading and asking for money, so just give it. So he taught me that.
yeah, that's a good lesson. Homeless people, they're totally ignored, and they need our help. And any one of us could be homeless anytime if under terrible circumstances. So that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I've heard from you about him, he sounds like a really great guy. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
what I want to
Sorry, guys.
no problem.
There's no school today.
Yes.
Damn snow. See this? He left me with monsters at that too. What? Okay, I'll give you the chippies in 1 minute, Serenity. Okay, give me one moment. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here we're gonna play this audio in a minute, and it's kind of hard to listen to. It's I believe it's you at the police station recording the video.
No.
No. Okay. Can you set it up and tell us what exactly it is?
Yes, it's okay. For we Black Lives Matter, Greater New York. I'm involved with them for when it happened. I didn't trust the police, nor did or anything, because I felt like it was like it wasn't right, a feeling, what I'm saying. So I ended up um getting, like, trying to get justice for Andrew. So we ended up protesting the attorney general to take over the case regarding Andrew, because the state police had the case. And how is the state police gonna police the Schenectady police? It doesn't make sense. So we asked the attorney general to take over the case, which they did. And on January 10th, they bring me in, and usually they don't do that. And for me to see the death cam video of Andrew and everything that happened, it was a 45-minute video. And then when I mean, is the most horrendous thing I ever seen in my life. It was horrible to literally see death on somebody's face and literally see his whole face change to white and pleading for his life. I don't wish that on nobody. At first, I didn't know what was worse to not, because I was getting nightmares before I seen it, and I was like, and I kept on having nightmares stating him in a police car, and he was screaming, and I was trying to get him out of the car, but I didn't know what he was saying. So when I did see the video, I knew exactly what he went through, how he went through. So I don't know what's worse, not knowing or knowing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a never-ending nightmare that I'm trying to wake up from. But like I said, like on January 10th, they bring me in. I seen the video, but I ended up recording the audio part without them knowing, because I wanted it to be known what happened to Andrew. I feel that they're dragging their feet on his case. So you only get 9 minutes. BuzzFeed only has 9 minutes, but after you air it, I'll tell you exactly what else happened after, because I don't understand why they only put the 9 minutes, but that's what they have. Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is about a 9 minute audio clip we're gonna play, and like I said, it's pretty tragic, really hard to listen to. You're getting emotional, obviously, watching your husband dying and
Yeah.
nobody's caring. A couple parts are hard to hear, but if you don't want to hear something really tragic, the listeners just mute us out for like 9 minutes, because it is. I mean, but then a lot of us have seen the police drive by on a 12-year-old child. We've seen them shoot a running man in the back. We've seen them shoot a man in the stomach when they ask for his wallet. We've seen a man follow every rule possible. Tell him he had a perfectly legal gun and get shot for being black. We've seen a lot of terrible things, so this is equally as horrible. So I'm just giving a warning to everybody just in case. I'm gonna play it now, and then we'll be back in about 9 minutes to talk about the rest of it. Okay? Here we go.
Same call. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. What, man? I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh, my God.
Take it easy. Andy.
I'm joking. I'm sorry.
No.
Baby, I'm sorry.
Andy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
All right. You want to stop?
I can't stop. I'm sorry. I need to see this. I'm so sorry, Dookie.
Okay.
So, Angelique, I will tell you, it's gonna get even more bad.
Okay.
Are you
Now, I
ready
want
to
to tell
see
you,
this?
if you don't, if you want, maybe your mom, if you want your mom to see it, and
No, God, I need to. I have to see this. I gotta tell my children. I have to say, Daddy.
ready?
Yes.
Please open the window a little bit. Please. Please, sir.
He's begging. He can't breathe. his chest. Oh my God. Yeah, he's fighting, trying to fight it. Look.
Excuse me, sir. What? Excuse me, sir. What? Please. Please, hold on the window.
Hold out the window.
Please.
Oh my God.
Pull them off on board. If anybody else responding, they can throw it out.
What's the highest rank there on the scene?
Please,
I see the officer and they're fucking ignoring his cries.
34, 10, 6, 7,
He's in pain.
I know.
Look, you see his face? His eyes? Now he's going in? Yeah.
Probably shouldn't run next time.
What the fuck?
Officer! Officer! Yeah, what? Please, come here. Please, what?
Please?
Come here. What do you want? Please. What do you want? Please, come here. No, what?
No, what?
I can't breathe.
I really can't breathe. I really...
Officer!
He's crying for help.
A whole bunch of minutes there.
The officer don't believe him. Look at him.
Officer!
Look at his face.
And we got the time 6:30.
See? You can tell he can't breathe. It's obvious.
That was pretty pain, man. want to take the car? Because I thought this was a big cemetery.
Just talking? Like, it's nothing. Like, he's nothing.
Officer! What? You think this might have to do with you running? Please open the window, please. I'm not opening the window.
What the?
Please.
The fuck? He's saying please. He's begging.
Can you please open the window?
No.
Please, officer. Officer! Please! Enter Hotel Romeo 2787, NR 2787. Please, officer. I'm going to get my show up. Don't throw open my car.
Don't do it.
Man, that video is tragic. So yeah, you said there was more of the audio, not video, sorry. There was more of this audio that BuzzFeed didn't play.
Yes, there was more of the audio and is more of the video. Like I said, it's a 45-minute video, and what BuzzFeed didn't play of the audio because Andrew was in the car for 25 minutes asking and pleading for his life, literally begging the officer, because at one point BuzzFeed didn't air this, he's saying, I'm begging you, please, and literally begging and pleading for his life over 70 times. And he said he asked and said, I can't breathe 11 times, just like Eric Garner. How eerie is that?
Yeah, that's the first thing it was reminiscent of, was the Eric Gardner case.
Yeah. And as you can see with the audio, at no time did Andrew, curse the officer out. At no time did, say he get mad, at the officer. Because I could understand if, if I was in that position or anybody is in that position, I would curse the officer out, excuse my language, curse him out and be like, whatever. But he didn't. He kept asking. He was like, sir, officer, please. He literally said, at one point he's there saying, oh my God. And he's saying, my body's getting numb. And each and every aspect of what he was going through, he kept telling the officer. Andrew had a cardiac arrest in the backseat of a police car, and he died 1 minute before he got to the police station. And as the officer's name is Mark Weeks. As he's driving, the officer's driving so slow. He takes a long time to get to the police station. And I also found out that if he initially, when they first caught him, they caught him behind of a house, which BuzzFeed didn't air that either. When they first initially caught him behind of a house, Donald Avenue, the officers caught him. Andrew's saying, I can't breathe. He's telling the officers, I can't get up and my leg is broken. And the officers are saying, get up. And he's saying, for real, I can't get up. One of the officers says, what do you want us to do? What you mean? What you want us to do? Maybe call the ambulance? So he initially said, I can't breathe. And he took it upon himself to take 3 officers to place him into the police car in the back seat, and that's where you hear the audio and stuff, him begging and pleading. And like I said, after that, they get to the police station. You see this is on the video that I see. You see Officer Mark Weeks that gets out the car. He puts his little gloves on. He opens up the door, and he tells Andrew, your buddy, get up. He doesn't check his pulse. He don't call the ambulance. He don't do nothing. He says it again. Your buddy, get up. Again, nothing. And then he gets it again. Your buddy, get up. Now it takes him and another officer to drag Andrew out the car. He's limp. His eyes are looking like it's motionless. And they place him in the front, on the concrete in front of the police station. Not calling the ambulance, not checking his pulse, nothing. Now, you see now there's a group of officers coming out. They're looking, they're laughing, they're drinking coffee like it's nothing, like it's nothing, like no help, no regard for human life, like it's nothing. So now you see Officer Mark Weeks. He starts performing CPR, pounding on his, compressing on his chest, not blowing in Andrew's mouth, not doing anything. He looks at another officer as he's trying to do CPR, and they take another like 10 minutes. They come with the defibrillators. As they come in with the defibrillators, they're walking real slow. Now Officer Mark Weeks gets off of Andrew. He goes to the police car. The window's open. He leans over. He starts crying. And another officer goes to him and rubs him on the back. Now, my question, and I've been asking and pleading and asking this. Now, I want to know from Officer Mark Weeks, is he crying because he knew Andrew was gone? Or is he crying because he knew he messed up?
Yeah, they usually cry when they think they might get in trouble because they're cowards
Yeah.
and they're inhumane. They don't care about life.
Exactly. So that's why I'm asking everybody. We're trying to make a law for Andrew, called Andrew's Law, regarding that if anybody says they can't breathe or anything, that they cannot deny them the medical attention. They have to call the ambulance. It's not up to them whether they think they're joking or not, because obviously he thought he was joking and Andrew's gone. What a joke, right? Ha ha ha. I'm laughing. And he's gone. I'm left without him. My children are left without their dad. And we devastated by this, while this officer is just living his life like it's nothing. Now, I want everybody to see Andrew as a human being, because you wouldn't even do that to an animal, let alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say, exclude the fact that that's an officer and exclude the fact that he's a civilian. How about the fact that is, you know what I'm saying? He's a human. And you wouldn't even do that to an animal, beg for their life. So now if Andrew, let's say if it was a mother and a child, the mother would get charged with endangerment or homicide because they neglected to call the ambulance, because that was the fault of you not calling and the child, got killed. So why is it that this officer still is not, charged or off the job? It's not fair.
Was there any disciplinary action given to the cop?
No, he's still on the job. He's still working for Schenectady Police Department. And what's even more messed up is Andrew just came home from doing a 2-year bid. He only lasted 15 days, so it's like me and the kids are still waiting for him. And when he was locked up, all he kept saying is, our youngest her name is Serenity. We call her Buttercup. And all he kept saying is, Angie, I wasn't there for her when she was born, and I wasn't there for her first birthday, but I'm gonna be there for her second birthday, and I'm not gonna miss any more birthdays. And I promise you, he got killed May 11th, and her birthday was May 25th. So she would never be a daddy's girl, and she would never have that daddy daughter dance or walk down the aisle, because the actions of this officer. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't mean to.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's understandable. This is a horrible. Like, all they literally had to do was just get on the radio and say we need medical attention immediately, right now. It's an emergency, and there's a possibility Andrew would still have been alive.
Exactly. And I also found that out too, because if they initially would call the ambulance from where they picked him up, if they would have drove through this park, called Central Park, it would have took them 2 minutes to go to the hospital, to Ellis Hospital. 2 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, it's so tragic, and we need to have victims' family members or victims who are still alive. Like there's a lady Antoinette Houston who suffered vicious police brutality. Other, we need the victims' names. It's so many people all the time. Every day there's like one or two victims at least of police brutality across the nation.
And that's so true. And the thing is also, these officers think that they wear too many hats. They think they're lawyers. They think they're psychiatrists. They think they're medical professionals. They're trained to protect and serve. They have an oath to protect and serve, and they're not doing neither. And it's so messed up because in the long run, everybody is losing. If we could have a big turnout for gun violence, why can't we have a big turnout for police brutality? Why can't we have a big march for that? And when across the board, black, white, Spanish, like, come on, when is gonna stop? When is gonna be enough and enough?
Yeah, I think in some other shows we had talked about the problem in this country, especially, is a lot of people look to these guys with guns as heroes. So like they have a core group of people that no matter what they do, the cop is justified, the victim deserve whatever they got. And
Exactly.
it's sickness, and they don't see people as human. And I
Yeah.
mean, a while one of our first shows on this radio, we've only been around like about almost 2 years now. But one of our first shows we did was with the Green family, whose son, he actually had a gun in his hand, but he never raised it, he never aimed it, he never threatened with it, and the police shot him and killed him.
Oh my
And
God.
all these people were saying, "Oh, he had a gun, he was a criminal," but yeah, he didn't do anything with the
Yeah.
gun. Holding a gun should not be a death sentence, if you're not threatening anybody, especially in this
And
country where you got some white people shopping with guns on their backs and holsters and 20 guns on them, and nobody does anything. But it seems
you're
like
absolutely right.
if a
You're
black or Latino person or Arab or some non-white person does the same thing, all of a sudden it's a justifiable way to kill them, and get away with it for these cops. And um,
I,
yeah, so
I, I, I absolutely agree with you because you know how many people like these people like when I put it out, the officer, I found out, we got his name, and then I found his Facebook page, right? So I put it out there and he ended up deactivating it. So I also you know how many people was like, oh, he shouldn't have ran then, and like it's saying like, no, it is, in America, when a black or a brown person, you are scared of police. Even if you're not doing nothing and they're behind you and you hear that whoop whoop, you get a little scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, you either gonna run, you're gonna stay, or something. Because even if you comply, sometimes you die. If you don't comply, you die. So either way, I would take that chance too. And I feel that Andrew ran because, like I said, he just came home from doing a 2-year bid. Only 15 days. I would run too. I don't want to go back to jail. Like, and especially that it's coming up summer, and I don't want to miss my daughter's birthday. I would run also. Anybody in this America with that has dealt with police would try to take that chance, and they can't tell me they wouldn't. So I don't want to hear from people anymore. Oh, he should have not ran, or you're saying that he should have complied. The officer should have called the ambulance, and that's what he should have did.
yeah, I mean, I deal with these police almost daily because I'm out there, filming them and following around, trying to make sure other citizens are safe and make sure this doesn't happen in my area if I could help it, without documenting it at least. And
Yeah,
sometimes it's terrifying. They are thugs. They are like a
yeah,
mafia. They are like the worst gang in Los Angeles. I can't speak for other police, but this is where I'm at. And they have no fear. They do fear the camera at times. I got a big camera now, and they do tend to fear that more.
yeah.
And that tells me right then that if you're worried about a camera more than the guy that you're messing with over here or whatever, then you're doing something wrong.
and
Um,
and that's so true. And also, why is it that they have that? Oh, they want us to snitch, right? Or snitch on this because they're doing bad, whatever, whatever. And I'm not saying that all police are bad because there's some good ones. But why the good ones? can snitch on the bad ones. Why is it? You know, their code is that they're not black, white, they're blue. You know what I'm saying? That's their color. They're blue. No, you need to start taking responsibility and stop upholding your oath to protect and serve and rat on the bad cop the same way you want us to rat on the civilian.
Yeah,
You're
but
not better than us.
this is I don't want to be disrespectful or anything, but this is a
Yes.
common thing people say, and I will argue it every
Yes.
time. I don't believe that there can be good cops in an institution that's racist and corrupt,
Yes.
and they're not turning it like I tell cops. I got videos. I curse them out. I hate them so much,
Yes.
but I got videos where I straight out ask them, like, on YouTube I always see police murdering people, police beating people, police robbing people, police killing people. Well, the thing I
Yes.
never see is another cop coming and stopping them, pulling a gun, arresting the other cop, saying this isn't going to happen today. You got to act right. I never see that. The only time I
And
see that is if there's a camera and they'll tap him on the shoulder and point like, "Oh, act right. They're watching us." That's the only time.
yeah, exactly. And that's what's good about now that nowadays everybody got a smartphone to record and to let everything out. You know what I'm saying about the police brutality because in the beginning nobody thought that it was this bad. You know what I'm saying? Until Ronnie King came out and he got beat up by the officers and look what happened. They still got off. These officers don't get charged. They don't do the time for the crime that they do. And we as families from the victims are suffering for the rest of our lives while they're okay and happy and joining their life. And like, it's not fair. It really isn't fair.
Yeah, a lot of
Where's
times
the justice in that?
there is none. A lot of times the best a victim's family can hope for is to get a civil lawsuit and get some money while that cop is still on the streets, still
Yeah,
doing this again, still threatening more people because we've talked about this on a lot of shows on our thing. They
yeah.
have police unions, they have grand juries, they have everything set up to make sure this cop is going to get off pretty much no matter what he does. Now, interestingly enough, a cop shot a white Australian lady not that about a year ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. I heard about that one. And then the officer, the black officer through the door. They plastered the black officer on the news. He was off the job real quick, and the lady, you know, what I'm saying like, how is that?
Because
You know how
we
like
need to treat every human, whether they're a black male,
yeah,
a Latino male, an Asian male, a white male, or a white woman, all the way back with women, whoever you are,
yeah,
you need to be treated like you're a white blonde woman in this country
yeah.
by the police. And I think things would work out then because cops would be locked away for their crimes. But it's
Exactly.
just this system devalues certain people and values others above them simply for skin color and sometimes economic status. And it's just all bullshit. It needs to
Yeah,
stop. And
yeah.
people
That's
like
right.
you and so many
Exactly.
others are hurting and they'll never recuperate. They'll never get what they lost back. And these cops, we have a cop in LA, I think I told you the other day, he's killed 9 people and he's still on the damn police force. How
Oh my God.
terrifying is that? You don't know if this guy's going to pull you over, what he's going to do, and he's going to get off again if he does it again. It's ridiculous. It's uncalled for
I,
and it has to stop.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. They need to learn to. They need to uphold their oath to protect and serve, and stop thinking that they're above the law. I have a saying that I always say. I say, if you want a life of crime with no jail time, just be a cop. Just be a cop. That's
Yeah,
your ultimate goal, is to be that.
that's true. That is true. I mean, at least, like I said, I know LA, and they're like the worst. I'd rather run into any group of Crips, Bloods, SAs, any gang other than the police because
Yeah, and that's
I
their
would have
own
a
gang.
chance. I
They
would
have
have a
their own gang.
chance. Yeah, they're the
Yeah,
biggest gang and the worst gang. Um, yeah, it's really horrible. But let me ask you this: as a victim yourself, what would you like to see for you and other victims if this happens? How would you like the community to react to this? Like, what would be ideal in your opinion?
my my opinion is that I want everybody to contact the attorney general to to for it to go to a grand jury to indict the officer. You know what I'm saying? For Andrew to get justice. I also want a law passed, Andrew's law regarding that. Nobody else could die in the hands of an officer thinking that they're joking. The only thing that I could think of, the way Andrew died, if he helps another person not go through what he went through, then his life wasn't in, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't in vain. And he lives through other people by helping other people. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's so sad. But like, what? How would you want? I mean, I wouldn't put my faith in a grand jury trial. Historically speaking, I would hope it goes good, but generally they're in the cops' favor.
Yeah.
But how? I mean, I know I've seen terrible things where like you got people online trolling families victims and calling their dead relatives the worst kind of things and thugs and
Yeah.
criminals. But people like say somebody in California or in Texas or Nevada or Massachusetts, wherever that doesn't know you and can't really help locally. How should they respond to help the families of these victims? Like what would really help? Like what would be something that people could do that would start to help future victims' families?
Get involved and take a stand. Help us not the officers think they're above the law. We need to all collectively come into a group, a peace group, not color. You know what I'm saying? No black, white. Everybody needs to be collectively as a union, like a fist. If a fist is strong, once we all together, then we can't be broken. And what's so hard to stand up against police brutality? What's so hard to just say enough is enough, and enough families been lost by that. You have Sandra Blair that she with broken tail light. She goes into the police station and they say she hanged herself. Come on, we got to do more better than that. We 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 need to be collectively as individuals and just say just justice for everybody.
Yeah, I know, and you're right. We are like separated. We're like a bunch of fingers, you know. We can break and
Yeah.
stuff, but united, we're like a fist, and we could punch really hard and stop this issue and change the way the system works to benefit the people.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just tragic. It happens all the time, every day, and it needs to stop. And I would say to I know, I'm telling you right now, we're gonna get these racist scum on probably the YouTube channel talking crap. And they need to think. These white people that are so
Hello.
that think. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, these white people that
Yeah.
think they're
Yeah.
so.
Here it's breaking up. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. The white people that think they're so above it all need to think because these police are starting to kill more and more white people. They laid a guy out and gave him all these orders he couldn't possibly follow, then shot him. They shot
Yeah.
a white teenager not that long ago. They're coming for you next. Once they can get away with killing some people, what's to stop them from going after everybody? They might still kill non-white people more because it's a racist institution, but you guys are next on the list, and you need to join the fight and stop protecting these jackass gangsters, thugs, and start helping the community and helping the victims and making sure there's no more victims.
Yeah. Who's to say who's the next hashtag? They don't get involved until it is done to them. I used to see things on the news and I would feel sorry for the ones, on the news and share their story on Facebook and share, be compassionate for the one. But when it hits you, you like, oh my God, yo, like you literally, yo, when it first I kept pinching myself and I was like, yo, can I wake up now? Like, is this a nightmare? This can't be. And I kept just, like literally like pinching myself. It's the worst nightmare that I'm going through, but this is my reality. And it's horrible. And everybody be like, oh my God, oh, you're gonna get a good loss. It's not about the money. It's not about fuck the money, because at the end of the day, I had him broke, penniless, with money, without money, and I was happy. And I had my children, my kids had their daddy. You know what I'm saying? So, I just want justice for him. That's what I want. That's what he needs, because he pleaded and asked for help with an officer behind. You know how scared he was behind in the back of a police car, handcuffed. He kept on like trying to like wake himself up. Like you could see him, his whole face change. You literally see death in his face and everything. And begged and pleaded for his life, and the officer just did nothing. Nothing. Like, come on. It's not fair. It really isn't fair. And to think that someone that's there to protect and serve.
It's not. It's not even just unfair. It's unjust and inhumane, and and and
Yes,
and it's against everything people should stand for. Nobody. I mean, nobody doing unless there's a gun aimed at these cops and their life is in jeopardy and other people's life is in jeopardy. There's no reason to shoot somebody, and there's no reason to sit back and let somebody die. There's no reason to do this stuff. I don't
yes,
understand why they've been allowed to get away with it so long, and it needs to stop. And I encourage everybody to just join this anti-police brutality movement. And even if you are, I mean, I know I'm extreme and I'm militant and I'm always fuck the police and there are no good cops and blah blah blah. And that's the way I feel, and that's fine. And I'm terrified of them and I hate them. But even if you think there are some good cops, you need to be out there saying, "Oh, well, I need to stop all these bad ones because they're making the good ones look bad."
exactly. And
It,
that's facts right there.
it's ridiculous, and it has to stop. And to the people listening, do something locally. Just even if it's just holding a camera up when you happen to pass by and see the cops stopping somebody. Stop your car, pull over, aim a camera at
Exactly,
them.
because
You don't have
you
to
might
do it
help that
all.
person.
Yeah, you don't have to do it all bold. You don't have to do it. I mean, there's been 2 times now I've been catching the police here in another jurisdiction harassing people, giving tickets. I think I put them on YouTube already. And I told this one lady, if you want, I can, you can have this video and you can get out your ticket. It wasn't like something horrible, but I mean, it's just they're breaking little laws leads to breaking big laws.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
they above anyone should be following the law. I mean, it's so ridiculous
It's
and
so
frustrating.
disgusting, right? Yeah, it really is, and it is, and it's so much that we can do as people when they think they could do anything, and it's so sad. Like this boy, he's 22 years old. It was on Facebook. They kept on sharing the video of the sister to me, right? And I forgot the name of the boy. But she was crying, and everybody was like, Angie, reach out to her because she don't know what to do and stuff. So I was like, when I'm hearing her story, the gentleman, the kid, he got stopped from a police, right? Was for what? I forgot what was the charge. Anyway, they bring him in, right? And they didn't. He was in the police station for 2 weeks. He didn't get a phone call. The mother couldn't see him. They didn't know nothing. The live video says that she just found out that her brother was dead. That they didn't, and then but the other, and then they said that they couldn't even identify the body because he was so bruised up. His face is swollen and messed up, and for in police custody, you dead. How is that over something that's so trivial? Like, and so it's all over Facebook, and now they deleted her live. The Facebook deleted her 2 lives about it, crying and begging and asking for help.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm gonna say real quick. I heard about that story and it's horrible, but that's another
Yeah.
thing I'm gonna say. When you do film the police, if you're doing something
Mhm.
live like live streaming, make sure as soon as you can you download it and save the file because if they take your phone or something, you want to make sure that you have that file hidden somewhere safe. It might just save somebody's life. It might just get somebody off of a false charge. These police, like I said, they're just out there harming people to meet quotas to get profits for their department. They don't care. They have arrest quotas. They have quotas for tickets. They have to go and
Tickets,
arrest so
yeah.
many people. So they'll make shit up if they have to. They don't care. And the whole system
And
needs
then
to be
yeah, they
changed.
forge papers. They forge papers and everything.
Yeah.
They how crooked is you? Yo, what's so hard to just to be a good officer? And then if you're a good officer, then maybe some of us will be like, you know what? Yeah, those are good officers, and we'll start liking the police. But come on, there's a lot of bad ones out there, and it's bad. It's so heartbreaking that each and every a family, it has to be another hashtag and another mourning for a person that you love.
Yeah, and the only reason we know right now is because social media and people have cameras on them all over. This is nothing new. This has been going on for decades upon decades, you know.
Yeah,
Since there's been police, they've been just having their way, acting like thugs and gangbangers. The thing is, nobody had evidence of this. Very few people were able to
yeah,
get big cameras back in the day and walk around and film police.
that's so true. Look at the story with Emmett Till.
Yeah,
The little boy that they said they whistled to the
to a
young
white
the young
woman.
the white
Yeah,
white girl, and his face, they beat him up so bad. The mother was so brave and said no, she didn't want, let it go, and she ended up what, photographing and viewing the body like that. How brave is that, to let your son is completely, his face is completely destroyed, and you have to be so strong and just to say no, enough is enough.
yeah. It's definitely nothing new. Not in this country. Um, Yeah, and a lot of times when I'm filming, they'll come. This is another trick they do. I'm just giving people some little tips right quick. They'll always say they'll have their body cams or their car. We're filming too. Like, you can go. Don't worry about it. No, no, no. Because their cameras can be erased. Their cameras can, quote
Exactly.
unquote, malfunction. Their camera footage could accidentally disappear. It could be altered and edited, and you'll never see it. Your
Or turned
camera,
off.
yeah, yeah, and they always turn off just before something happens. Your camera won't have those issues.
Hmm.
So always film them. Don't listen to them saying you don't need to film. We got it. Don't trust their asses any more than you trust the most lowest life gangbanger that you see in your neighborhood. Just look at them like scum because that's what they are. But yeah, I don't. Is there anything else we need to go over? Anything else you want to say? I don't want to hold you up all day here.
No.
Oh, actually, real
They're not.
quick, can I just
Yeah.
say one thing? Yeah, you had hooked me up with this other lady in California here. I'm not gonna say her name because she has an ongoing court case. Um, but I think you know as well as I do. She has recently had her tires slashed.
Yes.
Um,
Her phone
she's
erased. She don't know how how how
her
how
accounts.
everything on her phone
Yeah,
got erased.
all her phone accounts have been taken. Data has been erased.
Yes.
She's had death threats. She gets calls at
Yes.
work with death threats. These police are vicious and they're
And they're
like a
making
mafia.
fake profile pictures regarding the police wife, and then threatening her. It's just, it's horrible.
Yeah,
And I
the police family members are on her Facebook threatening her. Now somebody took her Facebook. She doesn't have access anymore. Um, it's disgusting what they do. They're torturing the wife of a man that they murdered. In this case, they tasered him to death
like
nonstop
I typing.
right after he had a car accident and he was running around a little disillusioned. Obviously, that's what happens after car accidents.
Yeah.
And now this poor woman just wants justice. She wants to get to the bottom of what happened to her husband, and she's being attacked like she snitched on a gang member or something. It is horrible what goes on, and people need to understand that's what these police do. They send death threats. They send their people over to harass people. There was a guy where I used to live that reported a police for beating him. He was the one who called the police on someone else. The police ended up tasing and beating him. He was in a lawsuit and he reported the police. The police pull up next to him sitting in his driveway with his girlfriend in a car and shoot him to death and said, "Oh, we thought he had a gun." You
And
know?
that's justified. And all they could use is, "Oh, I felt threatened." That's the whole thing. You look at a lot of police shootings and stuff like that. They always say they lunged at me. I felt threatened to get away with murder. Literally, that's murder. You murder, just murder. How could you live with yourself, knowing you innocently just killed somebody? Like, it's nothing. Like how you, like, for instance, that for instance with Andrew, I feel that he had no empathy for nothing, and you have that on him on the job. You know what I'm saying? How you have these people on the job, and how many other lives will be lost in the hands of these officers?
Yeah, it seems that they have a them and us mentality and they're greater than us and whatever they do to us doesn't matter. I mean, you keep saying animals, but they've killed many people's dogs with no issue. They've killed many
No,
people
no. If
with
you
the
if you
same
hurt if you hurt their
impunity they kill
if you hurt
dogs.
their dog,
That's assault on an officer if you hurt their dog.
If you hurt, yeah. So exactly, how is that? How is that an assault on an officer?
But you can
That's
kill
a
somebody.
dog.
Like I got Olive here behind me. She's sleeping. She's my family member. I love her. You know,
Yes.
and I can't even imagine. You know, and people for us, our families even more love than our pets who we love. So they're literally taking people's lives and taking their loved ones away one way or another. But yeah, I don't think they really distinguish. I think they just say a dog's easier to kill and get away with it. A person's pretty close, but we got to watch ourselves a little more. And they don't care either way.
Yes.
I mean,
Enough is enough.
there's been victims on the ground that they shot that were unarmed, that they put their knee in their back and let them bleed out and die because they want to cuff them and make sure that this and that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They don't care.
There's a lot of victims and they say they can't breathe and they just, it's nothing. Like, it's nothing to them. Like, come on, man. We need to do better. All I want is your listeners. I know you got to go. But
I don't have to go. I just don't want to take
okay.
up your whole day. We got as much time as you need.
It's fine. But what I want everybody to take from this is, like you said, get more involved with everybody. We need to have justice for the people that got lost from police brutality, as well as I want everybody, if they could share Andrew's story and use his hashtag Justice for Andrew Kearse. That's JUSTICEFORANDREWKEARSE, and spread the word on him, because his life did matter, and he did mean a lot to me, as well as his children and our children, and it needs to stop. And also, if they could contact the Attorney General and go ahead and let it go to a grand jury, as well as do this law for him, Andrew's law. That's what I want. Everybody, please.
Yeah, please reach out and on Twitter you're BEBE 6666.
666. Yeah, 466.
So BEBE 6666. Reach out to her on Twitter. Show her some love. Her family's been through so much, and all these other victims. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to I Love My Wife's account. It's I Love My Wife 007. And as far as I know, nobody does more work supporting victims' families than Noel and his wife. We've had them on our show before. They're really awesome people.
Yeah, he's always sharing Andrew's story.
Yeah, and support all these victims' families. These people are suffering. These people have been through so much, and you got to put yourself in their shoes. If it was you, would you want people to care, or would you want people to troll you online and talk shit? So treat others like we want to be treated. That's kind of an important thing. And is there anything else? I don't have anything else. Anything else?
I just want to say thank you again, and God bless you and your family.
Okay, yeah, you too. Take care, and just know that a lot of people are always here from you. And if you need anything, you can always contact me or Noah or whoever else.
Will.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
And a big hug. No, thank you.
Well, I know it was much harder for you to tell your story, and I'm sure hopefully it's going to do some good and maybe save some lives,
Thank you. And then you have a friend for life with me.
Okay. Yeah, and you got the same, and support if you ever need it, just holler at us. That's what we do. We try to be here to help people as much as we can. So thanks again, and thank you to all our listeners, and we'll see you next time. And Friday we have the weekly show change from 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and now it's 2 hours later, so it's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, just so everybody knows. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you guys on Friday.